It's Week 16 of the 2042 season, and we've got a showcase of shutdown defenses. The action is only moments away. Next on EA Sports.
As the sun starts to set, we're going to see how much light is left by the end of this early evening game here on the NFL on EA Sports. Glad you could join us, football fans, as we get ready for kickoff. It's Kate, Scott, and Brock Hewitt up in the booth. And Brock, I want you to take us back down to the field. When you were a player, what are these moments like just before the game begins and you take the field for the first time?
Well, you wish you could hit fast forward. You wish you could just get to this, right? Because you are so ready to go. You've done all your work over the course of the week. And I think this is where it is a little different than maybe my era a couple decades ago. These guys visualize. These guys self-talk.
The holidays have arrived. Thank you for spending a part of them with us. We're away in Week 16 on EA Sports. He stopped on the return at the 27. So here comes their offense for its opening drive. And they'll be led out by their third-year signal caller.
Just an all-around great performance from him last week, Kate, in the win. Those 2 touchdowns he had played a big part in the victory, no question. But so did keeping it clean, not throwing a pick. You want to become friendly with your own defense? Make sure they don't have any extra possessions to defend. He did his job, and so did his teammates.
First play is to the air. He keeps those feet in and makes the catch.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's going to get up to about the 33, but no more. They made it to single yard that time. They're going to have to solve third down and 4. He's dropping back to throw. He completes it in traffic. And he'll get it up to the 44. They get an even 10 on that play. And it sets up first down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
Running back sent in motion. Back to pass on 1st and 10. Completed over the middle. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From midfield now. Into traffic, complete. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down. They send Jackson in motion right. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
2nd and 10 now. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down. And he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. They'll throw it. Flushed out of the... Oh, they're on him, and he's dropped again. And consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough 4th down.
Couple sacks on the opening drive. You better get to fix-it mode in a hurry. And I'm talking about on the sidelines. I'm talking as a quarterback. You've got to solve this pass rush because we know one thing about guys in this league defensively. When they get a couple sacks, they can smell it, and they're going to raise the intensity to another level.
So they come on offense now, readying for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by this dual-threat quarterback.
Nobody came away happy last week, no question about it. Himself, most of all. His team went 0-1 picking up the loss, but he was 0-1. One pick, no touchdowns. Not good enough. Defeat not an option this week, and neither is a lack of touchdowns. They intend to rectify both.
And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down.
It's now second and 10.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Only a yard from that time, so now 3rd and 9.
A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
Pass play coming here. Trying to float that one in, and defender's there for the interception. And they bring him down after the pick and decent return. Not the auspicious debut they'd certainly hoped for on that opening drive. The coverage, impressive, taking their first possession away with that interception.
Hey, it is tough to play a clean game in this league. The caliber defenders are awesome. You just hope that eventual missteps happen at a less meaningful moment than your opening series. You don't want to make it any harder to get your rhythm and get your passing game going.
Got it off that interception, Brock. Let's see if they can pay that off with points. Here's 1st and goal. Goal to go, they're passing. They get to him and bring him down. Good pressure from the defense there has them trending in the wrong direction.
Hey, Kate, I think we know that the quarterback's a demanding position because not only do you have to have a clock in your head, but you've got to have a spatial awareness of where you are on the field. And once you start retreating, going backward and backward and backward, you got to just sling the ball in the stands. Otherwise, well, you take a huge negative sack like that.
Gotta forget about 1st down in a hurry. They need a chunk of yards here on 2nd and goal. One of the tight ends motioning left. Throwing the out route complete. And he goes out approaching that 10-yard line. So now here's 3rd and goal. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And they're headed in reverse after that sack.
This defense could not make a bigger statement out of the gate with this game. Man, the lead up to a ball game, trash talk. Right, things said in the paper, bulletin board material, whatever it is. This defense took something personal, Kate, and they are taking it out on this quarterback. Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Here's a return from the 7. This return makes it up to the 25. The home teams and their quarterback ready to take over once again. And they've been willing to both call runs for him and let him ad-lib as he sees fit. He's top 5 for rushing yards by a quarterback this season. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. Finds him on the crossing route. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And they're going to have a 1st down. Looking for a throw here. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete. He can't hang on to the pass. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Trying to throw here out of the gun. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
He's on the move. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. Their punter making his way out now. And this is the first time he's been called on today. And he's got this fair catch right along the 12-yard line. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And it'll be their football. Their offense ready to take the field now. They've got an early 3-0 lead as they take over here. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. They send a tight end in motion. Back to the well again. And he'll get this up to the 19-yard line as he stopped. They managed a single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4. Throwing from the gun. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. Goes for the fair catch, and he's got it at the 34-yard line. We don't get a return out of that punt, and they're going to take over possession. This is the first carry for the rookie from Florida. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Give him 5 on that carry, bring it up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
He's going to throw this one. Dumps it off to his running back. Jukes out a one-stop. And they'll have it across midfield as he runs out. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that gives them the first.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
New set of downs for him from the 46. To throw it on 1st down. Has him on the quick hitter. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. 2nd and 3 now. From the 39. Finds him over the middle. And they get this down to the 28. It's a pickup of 11. And it'll give him a 1st down. They'll throw it again. Short pass brought in. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. We're at the end of one in a defensive showdown that has lived up to its billing thus far. Just a field goal separates these two. More from this one right after this. Welcome back. We're all set to start the second. Offense already out to resume its drive. They'll have 2nd down as they look to continue this good drive. And he must have overlooked the linebacker there because he was right in the way to swat it away and bring out the incompletion. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
They are throwing it again. Flush down out to his left. And he carries it in for the touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith. Right? You could just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
That one splits the uprights. And these guys take a 4-point lead. Now after the touchdown, they'll kick it back and see what the opposition can do. Jackson now to return it. coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Their offense running back out now. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Motioning the tight end left. From the gun, here's a handoff. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
2nd and 13. Finds a man right side. And a nice gain here, but it stopped short of the first. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. Pocket isn't holding up, they're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
That is now the 5th sack this offense has had to endure in the first half alone. We're on a double-digit pace here, and I'll tell you what, I know how these defensive coordinators work. They can feel the blood in the water. They are not going to stop getting after this quarterback until this offense can find a way to protect itself.
On now comes their punter. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. So no return on that punt. And it's going to be their football coming up. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Here comes their offense out again. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended Brock in a touchdown. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Hits him on the out route.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Throw on 3rd down. That one's incomplete. Had the connection, but some stone hands got in the way there.
I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or he just had a surprise break in concentration. It's so unusual at this level to see a drop pass unless there's a hit involved.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And he'll get under this one and make the fair catch at the 19-yard line. No return on that punt. And they'll get ready to go on offense. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he does what he can there, up to the 25. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They give it to him again. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. Give him 4 yards there, and they only need 1 more now on 3rd down. Back-to-back carries here. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that 1st down right there.
They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Going to the ground again on 1st. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets them 3.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
From the 38. Catch made over the middle. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Here's a give up the middle. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, Largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. They come to the line here. This is 3rd and 6. Throwing with a blitz on the way. Brought in right side. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
And this one ventures out of play on the fly. The question is where it's marked. Looks like they'll say the 17-yard line. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll start this series with an option. Oh, the football's loose. Oh, and they got it back. This play is still live. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Pass play now. That's completed right side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Throwing now from the gun. He keeps those feet in and makes the catch.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. With 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
From the 47. Completed over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Still sticking with the passing game. Complete out to the right. And he works this to the 38 before going down. 2nd and 3 now. He'll throw it yet again. Complete over the middle. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. Signals, and looks like we've got a timeout before that 1st down play. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Throwing it again here. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
Look at that work, turning those legs, driving across the 15. And he did not get in. Finally stopped at the 1. So after that big play, Brock, they need just that final yard here on 1st and goal. They're running the option, short side, and he's brought down for a loss.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the Booth Cape, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never.
And he bowls through the defense for a touchdown. These guys will add to their lead at the end of the half. Those defensive coaches got to be hot, Brock. That was a touchdown that shouldn't have happened. That tackle should have ended it.
You try bringing down one of these NFL running backs in this case.
Okay, touche, partner.
They see that goal line. They smell that goal line. It is no sure thing to try to bring down one of those horses before they find pay dirt.
That one right down the middle. And his guys drive their lead to 11. They put a touchdown on the board, and now they'll send it away. He'll bring it out from a couple yards deep. This isn't even going to make the 20. The coverage team gets to him. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. They'll turn to the ground game and just run this clock out. Up to the races, middle of the field. The 30. He's at the 10. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain. We've reached halftime, and it's a comfortable 11-point lead for him at the break as we send things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our 3rd quarter. He'll now to return it. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. Their offense taking the field now for the opening drive in the 2nd half. And they really leaned on that passing game in the 1st half, Brock. Let's see if that emphasis continues to start the 3rd. 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll come out throwing. He throws a bullet down the right side. He's got it deep downfield. And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag. You don't get too many plays of that size in a game, and that flag takes away one of them. Now we're on the counter. And he'll get them forward here up to the 24-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, and now they'll bring up 2nd and 16. They're throwing it. This one's taken in by Hill. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the 1st.
We've heard it said, and I believe it to my core, football is the ultimate team sport. And a well-run screen like that is the ultimate team play because it takes all 11 doing their job.
That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open. It beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
Fair catch hauled in at the 18-yard line. Now outruns their offense to take over. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. And this one does not go far. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Lone back gets the handoff. And he'll be brought down along the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 6, and they only need half of that now on 3rd and 3. He'll throw it. Can't find anyone open. He's forced to throw it away.
This is why we hear about closing. He senses the pressure. He's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
And that fair catch brought in just beyond the 30-yard line. And after the punch, the offense comes out onto the field. And they'll begin this possession in just a moment. Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Lone back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
You know how we hear about teams and quarterbacks avoid targeting a stud cornerback, just throwing away from him? Well, maybe they should avoid running it anywhere near this guy. He's having no issue stopping these plays cold.
Here's 2nd and 11. Escapes the pocket. He's running with it. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
Hey, baby, I'm living it. I think I'm ready for kids. He said when they stop trying to interface. That makes sense.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Dropping back to throw. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Has room down the left sideline. And he takes this one back for the pick 6. That play, Brock, that play was beautiful. Not just making the interception, but then seeing the return slowly come together in front of him as he took it all the way to the house.
Yeah, I think even for us up here in the booth, it looked like a scene out of a movie, didn't it? Starts running
Yep.
it back, scans the field for a lane, then the blocks come just in the nick of time to wipe out the would-be tacklers, and he's got open space and nothing but the end zone in front of him.
The offense will line up for a 2-point conversion.
First throw for the backup now. And the 2-point pass falls incomplete. They tried to get aggressive, but it doesn't work. Oh, I love seeing this, Brock. They got surprised with the pick 6, but they made absolutely sure there would not be another 2 added on.
Yeah, kind of the epitome of sudden change, especially on such short notice. Not a lot of time to get prepped on that sideline to get out there to defend the 2-point play. They did their job and limited the damage that came from that interception.
Hill now to return it. Finds some space. He's past the 30. The tackle's made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. The home team's headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. And his effectiveness hasn't been limited to what he can do with his arm this season. On that last drive, he reached a significant mark for his efforts on the ground as well. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Back to throw. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he won't get anything there. Several defenders nearby to hold him up. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here.
And 10 at the 39-yard line.
Another carry for him. And he's tackled for a short gain. Only a yard on the play. An improvement on their last one, but that brings up 3rd and 9.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
Here's a throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Terrific zone coverage. Wallpaper sideline to sideline. QB's got 2 options. Wait for a hole to open or tuck it to run. He chose the former, but the pass rush showed up before any throwing lane did.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And they won't be able to return this one as it sails out of bounds. The visitors and this running back headed back out for a new series. And his production is carried over into this second half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they've placed upon him. Simple dive up the middle. And he's going to be brought down after getting this up to the 22. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
First and 10 from the 41. Give now to the running back. Past midfield to the 45. And he finally ends up out of bounds after a huge gain. One of the game's biggest plays right there as they get the markers reset.
Anytime you get that chunk of yards, gosh, you can just feel it in the stadium. It just changes the whole complexion of the drive. They're now set up beautifully in enemy territory to end this series with points.
What a spot for a big play, huh, Brock? It has him well into the red zone now with first and 10. Working inside the red zone. And he's in. Touchdown! So an absolutely beautiful throw there, finding his man in space who turns it into 6.
Yeah, they really took advantage there, Kate, of some soft coverage. You want that on that corner route. Plenty of space for that route to develop. Great execution, and it pays off with the touchdown.
They aren't taking the offense off. All right, leaving him out, trying for 2. He's throwing for it. And the conversion is no good as that pass falls incomplete. Okay, Brock, dialing up another 2-point call. And remember when your friends didn't have a voicemail, it would just ring and ring and ring. It's still ringing. Fall short again of reaching that end zone.
Yeah, this defense is not doing very good between the 20s or even in the red zone, but they do find a way to rise up. This is always my challenge with being super aggressive, is why give that defense something to feel good about coming off the field after you put 6 on the board.
And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The home team's ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And as we can see here, it hasn't been the easiest game for him to operate out there, right? Number of rough moments for him. This defense able to pick him off twice to highlight their performance against him. Offense ready to begin this drive, first and 10. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Hauled in left side. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. Second down now, 7 to go.
At the 32-yard line.
The give now out of the shotgun. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's the type of call that offensively, man, it just builds so much confidence. I don't even think they were looking to get the first down. Just get to a manageable third down, but instead they move the chains, and that is one disheartening look on that defense.
First down, and they go right back to it. And he'll bowl his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 + 4 + 4 equals a first down.
And not much doing. He stopped quickly. He musters up 3 yards on the run. That sets up 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
They kick the running back in motion. From the gun on 3rd down. And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice gain.
Oh, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, but then you got to go finish it. You got to go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They could revisit that play in the future.
So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. The visitors returning their offense, and this running back to the field. And get that big old marker out. Cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. We're through 3 on this holiday weekend. It's a razor-thin margin separating these teams. The difference of just a single point as we begin the fourth. Second and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Now looking to throw. Setting up the screen. Space past the 35. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs. Markers reset, ball at the 37. On first down, they'll run. And he drives ahead for good yardage up to the 45. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have second and 2 next. Back to the well again. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. Second and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical third down.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4.
Kate, the game wasn't on the line with that series, but don't tell the defense because they brought the urgency and juice like it was. Getting the sack, setting up fourth down, well, it picks everybody up on that sideline. And now their offense gets a chance in a one-score game.
And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. And Brock, we got a pretty good idea how a lot of the playoff picture is going to shake out, but still some time left for things to change near the end of the season. Throwing now on first down. He's got a man left. And he's going to be brought down after getting this up to the 22. Second and 3 now.
Brings up second and 3 at the 22-yard line.
Plowing up the middle. And this defense continuing to erase the ground game. This one stopped at the line. Nothing gained or lost on that run. And now it's 3rd and 3. Looking to the air here. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. That's good for 7 yards. And that'll be a first down. They'll try and throw it here. He's on the move. He keeps it and takes off. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
And he's brought down for a loss.
They say about great outfielders in baseball, there's just something to them. They've got a knack, a feel, and instinct to take the right line, the right angle. For safeties, to create tackles for loss in the run game, it's the exact same attribute and skill set. Got to take that right angle and then go finish that runner.
And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
Changing things up. They're going to throw now. Short pass brought in. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete. So before third down whistles, and yep, the timeout comes in. Throwing from the gun. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And that makes it 4th down. Punting unit out now. And this is the 5th time he's been called upon today. And he can't hurt you with the return if you just kick it out of bounds, right? This one flies out right around the 15-yard line. The visitors back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They didn't add to their lead last time out, so they punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. Pass play on 1st and 10. Brought in right side. And he'll get this up to the 19-yard line as he stopped. 2nd and 6 coming up here. They send the tight end in motion. From the 19. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete. That's one he knows he should have had. And that means 3rd down coming up. He'll look to throw. Hits him on the out route. And he gets it up close to the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Those kind of completions are so frustrating, Kate. It's like a putt. You got it on line, you feel good about it, it's going in the hole, but you never want to leave it short.
Punt team on, and they'll send this one away. And now he's going to call for the fair catch and take it just beyond the 30. This offense and their quarterback making their way back out there, ready to take over once again. And this is the type of game that's going to get people talking when people look at the numbers that he's posted running with it. Now they'll throw out of the gun. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down. And following the play, we've got a break in the action as the trainers head out. They had a man hurt on the play, and hopefully this doesn't affect his availability for the playoffs. Second and 10 now. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. It was there, he just couldn't corral it. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Throwing from the gun here. Completed over the middle. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down. It took a great defensive effort to do it.
That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And it'll be their football. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he's brought down after a short gain. 3 yards on the 1st down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. Trying the right side. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Hey, range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
Man in motion, headed right. They're just going to let the clock run out and take this delay.
Delay of game, offense.
Man in motion wasn't set in time, just couldn't get a snap away before the play clock expired.
Still 3rd down.
All right, one more snap before the 2-minute warning. He'll throw it. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up. Their punter making his way out now. And he's going to try to give his defense a long field to defend. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And they're going to take over possession. They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. He'll look to throw it. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
I think everybody in the building was already thinking about the next play to run as they watched that short throw to the tight end. That's a gimme. You don't expect to see many of those dropped.
Here he is to throw. Passing struggles bleeding over from that last play. He's forced to get rid of this one. No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Here he is to throw. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
And on fourth down, that one won't work. It's incomplete. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. This offense making its way back out now. Their defense held, clinging to the slimmest of leads, Brock, and now that lead entrusted to this offense, asking them to just run out that clock.
And now the last thing this offense wants to do, really the only thing it can't do, is make an unforced error and turn it over.
And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. The defense calls a timeout. That's their first. 2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. They give it to him again. And he'll get this down to the 40. Timeout taken by the defense. Their second. Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Setting up to pass. Complete out to the right. And they bring him down around the 34. This is biggest moment of the game so far. An important field goal try here. From the right hash. This is going to be a 51-yarder. Got all of it, and this is good. And now their lead will push out beyond the field goal.
So after that make, a field goal won't cost them a lead, but a touchdown still ties it, or likely probably puts them down a point. Okay, this is one of those moments where the defense now has clarity. They know what the stakes are and what they have to defend.
He stopped on the return at the 27. Now this offense getting set to work here. And the last time we saw them, Brock, they took a risk, went for it on their own half of the field, but it didn't work out. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. This one's taken in by Hill.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason, when one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. Cover man is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. That's complete to the sideline. Not a ton of room, but he does get the feet down. And they do not get a desperately needed 1st down. He doesn't make it, and they still trail after the turnover on downs.
Hey, I am all for aggression. You get 4 downs, go for it. But I do have to wonder here, Kate, after being denied once again, is there going to be a trust level on that sidelines to go for it the next time they get this shot?
No timeouts remaining here, partner, so they can just run out this clock. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory. Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So hard work rewarded as they take a well-earned win in this one. And they continue playing their best ball of the season over this recent stretch as they pick up a 6th consecutive victory. With Brock Ewart and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It was a great effort from our winners as we say goodnight, everybody.
That's just trash.